What was supposed to be a work day turned out to be a little soiree. I found this art coffee shop online thinking, oh, it's just a place that people and artists, they come together and work, co-work right by the beach where there's not a lot of tourists, right? Wrong. It turned out to be a bar, an overpriced coconut for 100K dong, which usually costs 50 dong. That's Vietnamese money, by the way. Now you know where I am. And I was just like, nah. But I ended up meeting Victoria, who is from Moscow. And they thought I was from Brazil because I'm always wearing my Brazilian Adidas jacket. Hold on, let me show you this one. Because it's cold by the beach. I'm trying to fix the white balance, but it didn't work. Anywho. So I was by the beach. I'm in a beach town that is the most affordable. I need to be by the ocean to focus on healing, because oftentimes people like to just go right into fixing shit without actually getting to the root of the problem. This is Golden Shadow, Go Mining the Shadows by Pixie Lighthorse. And so shout out to Rashara. Thank you for commenting on my post. Also to everyone who comments, you might get a shout out. So comment below. Thanks for encouraging me and joining me in this journey. Encourage everyone to read. Everyone talks about self-sabotage, but they don't really understand what even goes into it. Also, The Mountain Is You is a really great book. However, if you do not have the actual support system that you need to collectively heal, the resources, I would not suggest doing that book by yourself. It's a lot. And even in doing this, I'm not alone, but I also started The Artist Way. And week 2 is like, don't share your journaling with anyone. Do not share your 3 pages or more with anybody, because you invite people to project fear into you. Why isn't it going? That's so strange. My phone didn't get like most of what I just said. Anywho. In The Artist Way, it talks about what you're journaling every day. The first time you wake up, those 3 pages, you don't need to ever share that with anybody. That's between you and the creator. So take that to heart when it comes to your creations, your aspirations, your goals. Don't share it with your friends and family or your quote unquote support. Don't tell them everything. Just show them what you're doing. Like now, most people didn't know I was going to leave the country the week of the Super Bowl. I didn't either. Police in office was doing their job. Look, I was behind in rent. I was not making the money as a bartender in New Orleans. I don't care what anybody outside of me says. I was not making the type of money that I thought I was supposed to make as a bartender. And if I was not making that, then it didn't seem a point at that point to continue bartending anymore in New Orleans or even be in New Orleans. I was going to leave anyways. The only time I ever made the most money in New Orleans was pedicabbing and working for myself. That's it. I did enjoy bartending, and it put me into many places and meet many different people and kind of come into a full circle moment of why I got into music in the first place. However, I don't think that is the end all be all for me as a multi-hyphenate. Also, with creating a niche, I think I'm going to end the challenge at 18 days. I learned a lot in those 18 days. Of course, if y'all want me to finish that, I will, but ultimately, I think I need to shift towards what's truly making me happy so I do not cage myself in a box. When your algorithm starts to pick up on who you truly are on YouTube, they start to push other content that matches yours and also matches your possible fan base and your possible community. Getting back to the story though. So here I am about to go work. I'm get up to this beach. I'm riding a scooter, by the way. Y'all gonna see that in the next video, so stick around. Comment scooter emojis if you want to see me on the scooter. Anywho, I get there and I couldn't park it because it's all sand and it's in the back of town, close to the beach somewhere. I'm like, where the heck am I? And I get there and I was like, oh, cool, this is beautiful and it's a party. I'm like, wait. Yeah, I ain't got no Wi-Fi. I can't wear this. Like, Victoria comes up, sorry, this isn't a really place where it's gonna be party, lit drinks, things, you know. Can't say that on YouTube, man. This isn't the best place for you. When I get work done here, I said, okay, then I'm gonna go. I stayed to dance for a little bit. We got to talking because Victoria is from Moscow, Russia, and there's unfortunately a lot of propaganda that goes on in the US. Like, they're always angry all the time. They're not nice people. They're always trying to like do bad things in the world. And that's just not true. And before that, I've met plenty of Russians in my travels and growing as an artist, because I'm an artist first and foremost. I'm indigenous first and foremost. I am not some USian brainwashed child. I come from Memphis, Tennessee. My people were rebellion against Jim Crow and segregation, in the sense of, they didn't want that nasty food, trust me. That's not what they were doing it for. They were doing it to have equitable rights across board, and it was more than just about race. It was also about class and a lot of other things. But I was just like, yo, chill. When she thought I was from Brazil. I was like, no, I'm from the US. And then she was like, wait, no. I'm like, look, I'm not one of them propaganda people. If I was, I wouldn't be here. Think about that for a second. 2, I left. She was like, what do you mean left? Like, you're vacationing? I'm like, no, I left. Like, I ain't coming back there. I don't want to come back to a place full of lies and hatred and people being complacent. I didn't say that to her, but to y'all, I'm just like, it's time for things to change there. Nothing's going to change if people are constantly just scrolling on Instagram and Facebook. Like, I refuse to be in a Nazi regime again. And why I say again, I'm like, I believe in past lives, and I believe that we were all there at some point in this earth. I believe in reincarnation, and I just don't think that history should be repeating itself. And if I ever decide to have children, even if they're dogs or cats, I will tell them the story of how I left the States and I built a new life at another place, because I refuse to be a part of a system that wasn't working, that was regressing on land that's not theirs. Like, I'm indigenous too, so how you gonna do some mess? How you gonna do that? That don't make sense. Anyway, I was like, girl, I ain't going back there. And we started talking. She tells me she's been DJing. I'm gonna tag her Instagram name for 5 years, and she's also been bartending for 5 years. I'm like, she's like, I do it all, girl. She's like, I'm traveling. I'm like, okay. Look, it was a great experience. Also, I felt like she was flirting, but I don't think so. If you're watching this, I don't know. You're very pretty and tall, and you seem really cool. And I hope we can connect on some DJ nerdy music shit, because I am focused on the art right now. But I ended up leaving because I didn't come to party. I came to work. And I was on a mission to get a journal. I found a stationery store full of journals, and I got one. And this is my new Artist Way journal, because thank you, another round, another rally. This journal was getting filled. So I had to get a new journal. I wanted to, I deserved to. And so I found it in the outskirts of town by somebody's mama's auntie, Vietnamese auntie, and I got what I needed. I also went to the store, get some crispy onions for my curry. I know I said I was gonna make a cooking channel. You just have to get that when I'm ready. Cause I have some things in my old home before I lost it. And I need this, I'm sorry. This isn't sriracha, this is a Vietnamese chili sauce. It's like lighter, but still spicy, but not as, but I like it though. What else? That's it for now. I know in the first video I said why I left, but I don't think people really truly get it. That place is regressing, and I don't really see how you can fix something. I don't see how you're gonna fix a house on fire from inside the house that's burning. I am ready to truly get into my own. I've too many times let other people tell me what I could and could not do. I could have been a YouTuber by now, a long time ago. I could have been a real content creator. I could have been a better singer-songwriter, but I allowed other people who I thought were my people outside of me tell me I couldn't do it and then go around and do the same shit. Do not let anyone trick you out of your spot. Do you hear me? We're done with that. And I'm still young. From 9 to 21, I don't feel like I ever got the love I deserved. Not truly. I also didn't pick the right friends. I finally did, but by the end of college, I was like, damn, I wish I had developed deeper relationships with certain people and not the ones that I thought were my friends and aren't. And still they still be coming up in my subliminals, like trying to reach out to me. And I'm just like, no, you're weird. And I was right. My energy was right. It don't be lying. I notice patterns. I'm on the spectrum. That's the next video. Something like that. I'm noticing that textures and stuff is starting to like trigger me a little bit more than my cortisol, and I have to calm down because I kind of felt myself having a little stroke. So where am I gonna do that? No more stressing. But I may or may not stay in this Airbnb too long because there's just too many problems. There's 2 sink leaks. I've told them they're gonna fix it today. And today, the air conditioner smells like mold. I'm like, you need to clean that. And it leaked brown liquid on my bed, but they're gonna clean it. So if you know something wrong that you don't like, you need to tell somebody and change it and speak sooner than later so it doesn't add to your cortisol levels. But ultimately, that's what going with the flow looks like from day to day here. It's just like you might pop into a new party, you might pop into some workshop. I came here to rest and be a creator again, and that's what's gonna happen. So stay tuned for the next episode about how I decided that I was gonna promote myself on Reddit and try to be anonymous. I got 2 fans, and they respected. They was like, I respect the hustle. They was like, I respect the hustle. And I was like, damn right, because I'm gonna go hard before anybody about my shit. And I'm going to continue to get better. And I'm going to continue to try. And I'm going to continue to have lessons until I find the right way. And I'm grateful that I get out of the States because I didn't feel like I was in the place or the environments to do that. Because there's this unfortunate mindset of, you have to start somewhere. I'm like, we are in a place of infinite possibilities and resources. And the fact that you are not stepping on the necks of your politicians and these leaders who have these opportunities, but they're like, you feel entitled. No. How I feel entitled? Yeah, we're going to try that again. Think about that again. No. I got tired of shit, and I know my worth, and I started fighting and standing for myself, and people didn't like it. So I left. I shouldn't have to fight so much for myself to exist. Fuck that. I came from poverty, and I didn't let it stop me. And I'm going to keep going until I get to my dream. And I'm not going to put anyone in harm's way. I took myself out of the equation. Yes, very selfishly, because I never got to be selfish. I'm going to be selfish now. I ain't got no kids. I got a nephew, nieces, but they got parents. They better figure it out. I love them. That's not my job. They are in my community, but how I'm going to help anybody if I'm pouring from an empty cup all the time? I ain't where I'm supposed to be. And yes, I got big dreams. They're not that big to God. They're not that big to the Creator, because the Creator is a part of me and a part of you. We all have the same infinite resources and possibilities and opportunities and abundance. So stop letting other people into your head telling you can't do something. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to prove myself right every time, because I'm the one who I can't disappoint. I'd rather disappoint people than myself. And the same goes for you. So stay tuned. Keep coming back and tuning in on this journey and learning from yourself how to inspire yourself to do what you are afraid to do. And that's probably the thing you need to do anyways. Until next time, ciao.